Hey guys, how's it going? Octopus here, and welcome back to evercrisis. This is gonna be a great video because something that should have been done a year ago is finally happening now. These things were pretty much some of the deciding factors of me wanting to continue playing the game or quitting the game. And I love the game. I love Final Fantasy 7, or just Final Fantasies in general. Probably 10 is very close to my top favorites just because of the part of my life it was in, the way it was introduced, the music, the characters, everything about it. But for this game specifically, there are some things that are just like, oh, why do you do this? And it's so frustrating when you're trying to do the harder content. So with that long introduction, let's go in and talk about exactly what that is, because we've got some quality of life updates that I'm like, why did it take a year for this to happen? I'm glad it's finally changing, but holy. So that's going to be in the update notices version 2.20. There's a couple things I want to talk about down here. One weird one is they forgot to spell considering properly. I don't know. Proofreading's good. It's always so weird to see in a game that like charges you money and all this stuff, and then they don't have the time to like considering, you know. Anyways, and Geo's getting extended till November 20th. Apparently, something about something, you know, something about the crossover events. So regarding the announcement of the Final Fantasy VI crossover event, considering that the duration of Geo Limit Break Draw, which has been held since October 16, will be very short for players who plan to start new or return. So this apparently is for the new players. I guess they're listening to new players now, where, you know, back then it took a while to talk about a couple things. I'm glad that they're listening. Like, I'm not bashing them for this. I'm glad that they're actually going to. So if there is players that were talking about this and it was in like a big quantity, cool. You guys get a longer NGO banner, but I really feel with crossover coming out and just the game moving forward, you usually want to move forward and not stick to what's going on right now. Not saying that NGO's not going to be good down the line, but November 20th is a huge extension. So, with that being said, Cold Battles, Shiva, and Ramu, which should be the new summon that just came out. You can now farm it in co-op, and then you have Bahamut co-ops on its own. I'm assuming Shiva and Ramu, because that and is the proper one, and this and is to break up that it's different one. So there's that co-op going on. This is I made a video yesterday about Final Fantasy Final Fantasy 6 collaboration, and I just gave my opinion on the costumes, and people were really, really hurt about what I said about Tifa. And again, it's just an opinion. It's not like I sat there and never gave like my favorite character, Aerith, or the other characters I care about. Like, when I see a costume I don't like, I say I don't like it. When I see a costume I like, I say I like it. And there's plenty of times going back and forth. But for some reason, I guess the community's going on a huge rampage right now with each other. And I just like got caught in the middle there, and I'm like, cool. I still don't like the way Tifa's costume came out. I think the pants could have been baggier. The t-shirt or the top she's wearing could have been a little bit more, I don't know, there, instead of looking like it's just part of her skin, right? It's just the way the design of it came out. I never said I hated Tifa as a monk or anything like that. So yeah, with that being said, the event is coming out on October 30th. Right, which is funny because the roadmap they showed said November, and they did it on October, which is funny. Even though it's like 2 days, it doesn't really matter. It's just funny to see that. So you're gonna be collecting these items, and Cyan is actually one of them. So right here, Cyan, it was in the trailer. I missed it. You guys have good eyes. You guys pointed it out, and I didn't see it. But they finally officially released it today, showing it, and yeah, this is looking really nice for Cyan as Angeal. It looks pretty good. All right, you can tell exactly what's going on. Nice armor, there's good detail, right? I still think Aerith is one of the best ones there. It looks so fantastic, but that should be the free costume. Next up, we've got that update notice. This is a juicy one. I love this. So, starting October 30th, all of this except for one thing that's going to be in December. But addition to purchase all feature to Guild Shop, so when you want to purchase all you can. I usually just do this for my daily, buy one thing that I like there, and then I dip just to get my daily done. But if you're someone who's buying multiple things from the Guild Shop, that's a nice addition. Should have been there from the beginning. A lot of the sliders, a lot of the bulk increasing and everything should have always been there, but at least they're adding it. This one's huge. Addition of on and off switching feature for the ability camera effect. There is so many times I'm in a fight Sephiroth's going edge wings, right? Using that ice attack, and he's like, "Nyeh," and you're like, holy crap, this is longer than Goku trying to Spirit Bomb. I hate it because when an enemy's about to do an attack and their bar is going like this, and you're on a timer and you want to like properly time your abilities or go into defense stance before you get hit, and then you use an ability or the AI uses an ability and then you can't see that timer, it's hella annoying. The fact that they're letting us turn that off is huge, so thank you. That is crazy good. So with that, my favorite thing, and this is the thing in the beginning of the video I was talking about, that I sat there so many times saying to myself, why am I playing this? Because I'm fighting my own team setup. I'm fighting the AI in order to do a proper rotation. There's so many times where I'm just like, okay, I'm gonna switch characters. Please don't use the ATB Aerith on Sun Umbrella and lower their defense because it's already lowered. Okay, go switch, use his ability, go back. Aerith's like, I did ruin, ha ha ha. And I'm just like, well, Sun Umbrella would have been better. Thanks for nothing. So this is so annoying that to the point where like, it's not even that you don't have the right equipment, that you don't have the right materia, that you don't have the right anything. You're OB10 maxed out, but you're fighting the AI to have a proper battle. And the fact that they're finally allowing us to turn off C abilities. By the way, C abilities count for materia and for weapons because they're both classified. It doesn't say weapon C abilities. It doesn't say materia C abilities. You can see this in anything, but the most clear one is High Wind. If you go to effects, right? Boost weapon C ability. Boost materia C ability, right? So it should be both materia and weapon abilities. So that means you have full control now in manual mode. Holy, this should have been there from the beginning. I don't understand why manual mode was called manual when the AI still does it. So what's the point of semi and what's the point of automatic if manual still automatically uses everything? Now I'm hoping this also means that we don't have to worry about your sub DPS going defense mode on both enemies or all three enemies when you don't want to lower the defense yet of the other enemy, right? Like during this guild battle, so many times my Zack's like, okay, I'm gonna, instead of DPSing what we're targeting, because again, what's the point of the targeting system? And then they're like, you know what? I know you want to target this boss, but we're gonna go debuff the one you're not targeting. It's like, AI, I don't want that. I really don't. So the fact that we can turn all that off is like this entire video. Everything else, whatever. This, and the camera. I love this. We get a addition of enhancement feature. We get to bulk enhance now, which I hope they do where it's a slider and you can go like level 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 120 where you want, and then that one push does it all, right? I hope it's not like, do you want to make this 120? No? Okay, manually do it. I hope it's like your choice of where. A feature that will be allowed you to enhance a weapons level and unlock level caps all at once will be added. The overboost all feature is still in development and we plan to implement it in the round of December. So this is what I was talking about. It's not going to come until December. They're asking for the patience and they're thanking you, but still far away. At least they're announcing it and they're doing it. So this would have been nice when I first started as well, because I pretty much have every weapon at level 80 and it doesn't take much for me to make it to 110 now. But it's going to be nice for future weapons that do come out and for the new players. Something that I wish was just there a lot sooner. Guild battles. They're doing things which are really good. One is that when you defeat a boss, but you had another teammate hit the boss, you don't really know that your attempt didn't go through and you think that you're the one who did it or you killed the boss. And it happened to me and I logged out and then I got a guild notification saying, hey, can you go clean this up? I'm like, oh, I already did my last attempt. And then I logged in. I'm like, oh, I didn't, because someone else killed the boss before me and I wasn't aware of it. So they're going to have a little thing, display of attempts, battle screen. No, not that. Attempts were not consumed if another guild member defeats the boss first, right? They're going to have an addition of a screen that shows you that now, which I should have just been aware, but it's nice to have that little bit extra there. They're going to have a display of attempts, so as you're officially in a match, you're going to see how many attempts you have left, and then guild records now show the types of scores without bonus and with bonus, which is really good. So little things to help organize the guild a little bit more. I'm really happy about that. They're going to be unlocking more guild bonuses. Now, which ones? I don't know. Guild bonuses right now, they didn't say all of them, they said some of them. So we could just be getting Chocobo and Battle, which Battle I'm okay with. Materia and High Wind are very powerful. Like the more The high wind crystals you get to boost your abilities and your damage and everything, really good. Materia, easier 5 stars is very necessary. Even with the upgrade now, 5 stars are very far in between, which is still should be rare. But yeah, it'd be nice to see an easier way to get more 5 stars. But most likely they're going to give us, I think, Battle and Chocobo, because that's probably the easiest to make sure we're not too strong. Because if they make us stronger, they have to make the enemy stronger, or content becomes too easy, right? So no matter what, every gacha is like, you're stronger, so is the enemy. They have more HP, they do more damage, they have more mechanics, whatever they want to do, right? So we'll see what they do with that. But it's not everything being increased. They're going to add a cinematic sequence when rewards are obtained has been added at the panel mission. I don't want more cinematics. I want less cinematics. There's so many times where I upgrade a weapon and it does this big shiny thing, and then you got to wait, and then you can do the next thing. I just want to click, 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 right? I don't like little cinematics between things. It doesn't need to look pretty. It needs to just respect my time and let me go in and out of these menus as fast as possible. So hopefully it's not a long cinematic at the bare minimum now. Yuffie. Yeah, she's getting prettier apparently. Eye highlights. Oh, I thought she looked great. But yeah, they're changing things, which is cool. Good for Yuffie. Yuffie keeps getting changed. I guess they just don't really like how she looks and they want her to be perfect. So, hey, Yuffie users. Now, dungeon ranking. We haven't had a dungeon ranking in forever, and I want them to balance this. I want there to be dungeon rankings and battle rankings. The difference is dungeon rankings, you walk around a map and you get to choose your path. It was fun. It was fun because you were like, okay, if I go this path, I can get this done, get these buffs, and then I can make this run a lot easier. Or if I do this path, I get this first, which helps with this, but I just got to make sure I get through this difficult boss. Right? It gave you choices. Battle ranking is very fast, very efficient, done and in, but it doesn't feel fun. I like dungeon rankings because they were something. It was fun, had different methods of doing it. It wasn't just one say, that's it, done for everybody. There was different ways for everyone in the community to get it done with a high score. So they're talking about, instead of being cumulative score, they're changing it from the highest score amongst all the difficulty. They have different difficulties, and that's probably just for rewards and stuff like that. Or like if you're not strong enough to do the first highest one, you can do the one below that because that's a new player versus an old player. So the different difficulties make sense, but they're only going to choose it from the highest difficulty, or it doesn't matter, just the highest score from any of the difficulties. They're going to also show a selection screen due to changes in that measurement over here. Then they're also going to do where if you obtain a rare chest in any of the difficulties, it's opened in all of them. So you don't have to go hunting for all the chests multiple times. You get the reward for all the difficulty of all the rare chests. It's all done by opening one. They're modifying the dungeon safe feature, and they're also allowing movement speed to be changed within dungeons, but not specifically dungeon rankings. Right? You will now be able to change your movement speed in dungeons other than dungeon rankings or dungeons that have conversations. So it's weird they announced it here under dungeon rankings, but then they're like, no, we're doing this, but not for dungeon rankings. So anything you do like crisis dungeons, as you're doing those, you can ×2 speed them, 3 speed them, whatever they choose to do, which is good because one of the things that the community didn't like was that dungeon rankings were just long and tedious when you're trying to redo an attempt over and over. Like you're like, oh, the third bosses I'm having a problem with, I got to redo boss 1 and 2 to go figure 3 out again and then reset, go back in. So yeah, that was one thing that people didn't like about dungeon rankings. I thought the vibe of dungeon rankings were great. I was also one who was like, oh man, I got to go all the way back there. But in the end, I did enjoy it. I do want to see it bounce though. Dungeon ranking, battle ranking, dungeon ranking, battle ranking. It'd be nice to have both. And then they're going to do event preparation, new app icon, resolution, minor issues, all that good stuff. And then that maintenance will be at exactly October 30th at reset time. So whenever your dailies reset at your time zone, that's when the game will be down. So make sure you get everything done before that. And you know, when a new event pops up at nighttime, for me it's 10 p.m. Eastern, that's when the game will go live again. So between 1 p.m. to 6:59 PDT. So that pretty long one. That is a pretty long 6-hour maintenance, which is a lot of quality of life. So I'm looking forward to it. End the video on thanking my guild for always doing an amazing job organizing the charts. Like we have intense chart training where we're like, all right, we do this percentage, organize it, put it in, math it, right? We've got these charts going on, seeing everyone's attempts. So everyone putting their attempts in, everyone talking to each other. The sub leaders are constantly in Discord, rotating sleep schedules to get this done. We look like we're still in top 8, doing really good at 94 million. And it looks like we're securing top 10. I don't want to jinx it, but even if we don't make top 10, thank you guys for always doing an amazing job. Even though I'm a mop right now, I'm literally mopping up the mistakes that happen. Ignore that. That's for my live streams. Yeah, I constantly do these little mistakes where, you know what? Did I record the intro with that on? No, all right. I probably have to redo the intro now. I think that screen was on. Anyways, yeah, if someone like hits a boss and they leave like 3%, I'm there to clean it up because my water setup's not good. I do like 70% on stage 1, which makes me the weakest player in that guild right now because I don't have a water setup. So anyways, let me know what you think about all this updates, everything, the quality of lights. I think they should have been done sooner, but I'm glad that they are happening. The biggest one was C abilities and the AI not being actual manual mode. That had me always, and I'm glad it's finally being fixed. Besides all that, thank you guys so much for watching. Keep on smiling, and I'll smell you later.